So I've gone down many rabbit holes looking at other people's mods on their bikes, so I figured I would do a video on it myself. Hey, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to go over all the modifications that I've done to my bike. Like I said earlier, I've gone down many rabbit holes just looking at the cool things people have done to their bikes. Some things I like, some things I don't. So I figured I'd make a video. It'd be good to see what changes on it in a year's time or 2 years time. So I was going to go over all the different mods that I've done on my bike. Some of them I've done and some of them the previous owner's done. So I'll point each one of those out. But anyways, let's get into it. So starting at the front of the bike, actually the first thing that I'll point out, and I'll have to put a picture up here, but it's the windshield. The previous owner put on a windshield. It is a slipstream. It's either 9.5 or a 10.5. It's 9.5 above the fairing, but I think they consider it a 10.5 because 1 inch is into the fairing to hold it on. It's a slipstream. It works pretty well for me. Not sure if I'll change it because I already have one. Why get a new one? But I have seen some new ones with different waves and stuff on them that look pretty cool, so I might look into that, but it's nothing pressing right now because I do like riding around without the fairing on anyways, as long as I'm not going on a long run. The next thing up front that I had done is actually these lights, the LED lights. I did do an installation video on these and they're garbage. I was able to make them work on the front ones, not the rear ones. I did make them work. They are still garbage, but I've left them on for now, and I will get newer ones as soon as I decide which ones I want to get. The outside ring, the things keep burning out on this, and it actually makes your blinker click fast. Not on here or the rear. It clicks normally here, but on the marker on the gauge, clicks fast. So not that big of a deal, but it's kind of annoying. The next thing on the front is actually these crash bars. I don't think they're highway pegs. I think they're considered crash bars. These are Harley Davidson ones. You can see the Harley Davidson logo there. I like these. They're not really functional, but for inevitably, I haven't dropped the bike yet, but when I actually do end up dropping the bike, I do like that I have some crash protection there to help block out from hitting the tank or anything like that. So the reason I say functionally they're not very good, because I find putting my legs out on here, your legs are so far out, I feel like you're almost like doing Kegels, trying to hold your legs in just to keep them actually onto the crash bars. So I mean, they're fine. They look okay. Me personally, I probably would have went with black ones. And that'll be a theme about a lot of the stuff the previous owner did to it. Is I like more black than the chrome. But I don't think I would change these right now. Maybe further down the line, maybe. But for what they're for, they look all right, and they do what they're supposed to do. Now the next thing on this is actually one of the reasons why I've actually tried to make this video 3 times now, because Rob in Calgary keeps pointing out things that have been changed on this bike that even I didn't even know about. He knows my bike better than I do, and that's actually the pullback risers. I didn't even know that I actually had the risers on the bike until he pointed it out, and then I actually looked on a new Sport Glide, and yes, they do have, this is a 4.5 inch riser, pullback riser I think they're called, so it brings the handlebars a little bit up and back. These are Harley Davidson ones as well. Most of the stuff on here are Harley Davidson, and I'll tell anything else if it's different, but these ones are Harley Davidson ones. They're 4.5 inch, unless you're counting from down here, but I think they just count here. It's 4.5 inch. It would be 6.5 inch if it was that, but I'm pretty sure it's just 4.5 inch risers on there. I do like these. because it does bring the I think the first time I rode or sat on the bike, the guy says, oh, the bike will pick you, and I like the riding position of this one better than the other bikes I tried, and I think it had to do with this. If the bike was back, or if the handlebars were back where they were supposed to be, I might not have liked the riding style of this. Having said that, I do want to get new handlebars. I don't know when I'll get it, because running theme of this video is I have commitment issues when it comes to parts. I do like the mini ape hangers, so if I do that, then I have to get new risers or get rid of these risers, and I don't have other ones. But anyways, so yeah, 4.5-inch risers, Harley Davidson. Next thing on the bike actually is the hand grips. These are the Kahuna, Harley Davidson Kahuna heated grips. They got the heat thing here. These things work fantastic. The heat grips really, I mean, I've ridden in February, -18. Outside of my hand gets cold. I might have to get some wind guards, but my hands here stay really warm. They work fantastic. I'm not 100% sure, since I've ridden the smaller bikes, the Sportster S and the Nightster. I kind of like a thinner, I don't have very big hands, so I kind of like the thinner ones. So these ones are pretty thick. I maybe in future, if I do end up changing them, I might go with a thinner one, but these work good for me right now. Highly recommend those ones. Next thing up at the front are actually these flush mounted gas caps. I got the two of them, the fake one here and the actual one here. These I love these. I love the look of them. They look fantastic. Having said that, I'm not sure if I would ever get them again, because I was even watching another YouTuber's video yesterday, and these things are a bugger to actually open up. They were fine at the beginning, but now it might work okay with these new gloves that I got here. Doing that with bare hands is almost impossible. It wasn't when I first installed it, but the more I use it, you have to get both thumbs on there and really crank it. Now I've done it with, I can do it with my bare hands, but sometimes when I'm actually putting it back on with my bare hands, I'll be driving and this just ends up popping back up. So again, these are new gloves. My previous gloves I couldn't even close them with. So if you have good touchscreen gloves, it's probably okay with, because actually the last time I've videotaped it, it was a lot harder to do it with, and I didn't have these new gloves. So I don't know, maybe with these new gloves, maybe I would do it over again. They look way better than the original ones with the big chrome caps on there. So I do really love the look of them, but that was the one thing I didn't like, is how difficult it was to close them. But I might be changing my mind now with these new gloves. Look at that, that's actually pretty good. Yeah, I would recommend those. Just get proper gloves. So heading down from there, of course, you got the Saddlemen seat. This is the lattice stitch touring. Can't say anything negative about this. It does sit you a little bit further, or closer to the front of the bike, because it is thicker. I do not have a problem with that. I think it's fantastic. I'm not very tall. I'm only 5'9". However, buddy down the street, he's like 6'3", and he didn't like how much this put him closer to the bike. But I mean, that's 1 inch longer, or 1 inch closer, so it's for taller guys it might be an issue, but I absolutely love this. No issues. I don't get sore ass at all when we go on any trips, long as I'm usually sitting, and it would be 2 hours anyways, 2.5, something like that. My wife and my daughter both love the back seat. I'll have to do a long-term test on this, or long-term review on it, but as of right now, they both love it. and I have nothing but good things to say about it. With that, the other thing that I've put on, this was like the first thing I did so I would be able to ride with passengers. This is the Harley Davidson Holdfast. This thing is pretty sweet. I think this is the high one, but I'm thinking we might need a higher one, only because of how thick this it wasn't an issue with the passenger pillion that came with the bike, but how thick the Saddlemen seat is here. This is right on their lower back, and I think we need either a bigger pad or something that brings it up a little higher for them. It would make them a little more comfortable. My wife doesn't have an issue with it, but my daughter said she would like a higher one, so we'll see. But these Holdfast things are fantastic. It's just two little notches like that, comes right off, and two little notches, it's right in. This thing is awesome. And there's other ones you can get to. I'm thinking of if me and my wife actually take this touring and actually do a couple day trip, we might get one of the back rest ones with the luggage in the back. But yeah, both of those, the seat and the Holdfast, nothing but good things to say about that. Now my favorite thing on the bike, actually, and it's because I've installed it myself, is the DK Customs Outlaw 606 air cleaner. This thing here is fantastic. I have a video explaining the installation. Yes, I actually have two. One, I did it in reverse, and it was everything's flip-flopped, and I didn't redo it. I just flipped the back the other way and put it on. So I actually have two videos, either in reverse or in forward position. But this here, fantastic. Makes the bike sound really good, and seat of the pants power, I really noticed a difference at having put the tune on the bike as well from the Power Vision, which is the other thing I have on this, is the flash tune on it. Now the previous owner also put on the Rinehart Racing slip-on, and I've had to do some research. I've been going back and forth with Andrew out in Australia, because he has the Rinehart 2-in-1 exhaust. Now I know this is the slip-on is actually because of the headers, the way the headers are. The stock ones go like this, the 2-in-1 actually comes down here. I love the sound of this, and this I keep thinking I want to do the full system just to get that, you know, half a horsepower difference or whatever, and it might improve the sound. The only issue is I liked the way this sounds. When you start it up, it's not too loud, it's not obnoxious, it's got that pretty good rumble to it, but when you get on it, it gets loud. So I kind of like that. So it's only loud when you want it to be loud, and I don't want to lose that by putting the full system on. I'm sure it will sound a lot better having the full system, but as of right now, I'm worried about losing that power. Not the power, sorry, losing that sound. So as of right now, I'm going to keep just with the slip-on. To me, it sounds pretty good. One thing I forgot to mention is I do actually have the rock form here. Obviously, it's not a mod, and I might do a year review. I've had this over a year now. Pretty much the first thing I bought for the bike was this, so I can mount my phone on there and do the ways to see if there's any cops anywhere around. Yeah, I really like the rock form, and yeah, I might do a video on that sometime. So this is a few days later, and this is another one I have to do because of Rob in Calgary pointing another mod out that I didn't even know about, and that is the rear taillight. Now the rear taillight on the 2018 all the way to 2022, even the ones in Europe that are still being sold, their taillights are actually black. This is just all black, and it just has the license plate light on the bottom. So when you're doing your turn signals, basically this turn, if you're turning left, this turn signal would be flashing, and this one would be your brake light. Now with this, how it happens, this is a tail light and brake light. So if you're turning left, these are your brake lights here, and if you're turning right, these are your brake lights here. So I think it's a good safety feature, gives a little bit more clarity. Not sure which brand it is. I'm assuming it's Harley Davidson, but I couldn't see it in their parts catalog. That's online right now. But again, I think it is Harley Davidson. It is LED. Same with these lights are LEDs, but these are come from the factory with LEDs on the rear, not on the front, but on the rear they do. I'm not sure why they've done that. But yeah, so that's another modification that's on there is the rear tail light. On this side of the bike, the only mods I've done on it is I did do the Screaming Eagle plug wires and plugs. Plug wires, I went with the black one, so it says Screaming Eagle on it. In hindsight, I probably should have went with the red ones just to give a little bit of color on there. But maybe if these ones ever run out, maybe I'll get a new set. As of right now, I don't mind the black with the orange Screaming Eagle wire or lettering on it. Looks all right. But yeah, they work all right. And then the last thing on this side is actually the derby cover, just cosmetic. The previous owner had a skull one on there, and I went ahead and put this one on. I just think it looks a lot nicer. I always say I'm not a skull guy, but my daughter pointed out that there's actually a skull there. But the #1 Harley, I don't know. I think it's iconic. I think it looks fantastic. I like that emblem, so that's why I got that. Oh, and actually the last thing I just actually put on yesterday is actually this helmet lock. Haven't tried it yet. Haven't used it to lock it. It rattles a little bit when I'm riding, but I don't really notice it too much unless under braking is the only time I actually kind of notice it. But Harley's loud enough, it shouldn't be an issue. But again, haven't tried to lock anything on it. Don't like where it's actually put. I would have liked to put it onto the crash bar, but it doesn't actually fit on there, so I'm not sure I'll keep this on or not. But we don't like bringing our helmets in all the time, and I just put them on the ground beside the bike most of the times. But this here gives me a little more peace of mind. But yeah, that's it on on Rob. If you notice anything else, let me know if there's something else that has been changed on the bike and I don't know about. But anyways, that's my 2018 Harley Davidson Sport Glide. Can't wait to see everyone else's. I keep watching all of them. If you guys haven't made a video on all the mods that you guys have done, do them. I'm gonna watch them because I don't know. I've just gone down that rabbit hole watching. I like getting different suggestions and stuff like that and seeing how things work. So yeah, until next one, talk to you later.